Good day, everybody. It is Calxiyn here, and if you guys enjoyed this video, remember to subscribe, become patrons over on Patreon to support the channel, and follow us over on social media. So, we are going to be talking about Hawkmoth and the Peacock Miraculous today. And if you guys remember, alright, I made a theory about a year ago that I had to delete, but I basically made this theory about why is Hawkmoth not using the Peacock Miraculous. And this was like before season 3, right? Season 3, I think, did not even start yet. So we didn't know like that the Miraculous was broken or that Natalie will get it. We didn't know any of that stuff. So I did a whole theory about like, why isn't Hawkmoth using this? If he has two Miraculouses, why not? Why not? Why not? You know what I'm saying? So I made that theory, and then as things progressed, we found out that it was broken, and then Natalie got it, and then it was like, okay, now we see. But now, it's fixed, right? Now, the Miraculous is fixed, and so that changes everything. And so what I wanted to talk about in this video today is what's going to happen in the future, because as we know, right, the season 3 end card scene, or whatever you want to call it, is Hawkmoth being able to fix the Peacock Miraculous because he got sort of the information from that book translated and all that stuff. He was able to like use the spell or something like that to like fix it. That's basically sort of the idea, and now it's fixed as if nothing ever happened. This to me is really interesting because it sort of plays into, I guess, Natalie and Gabriel's sort of relationship. And what I mean by that is when you think about it, like this entire time, you know, Natalie has been sort of risking herself and like risking her life to help Gabriel, right? Like she's been doing that this entire time, and she has been getting sick, and her body has been getting sick, you know, out of love for him. She wants to help him. She wants to help him achieve his goals, right? And that has sort of played a big part in their relationship all this time. And so now you sort of wonder, like, Hawkmoth needed her to do it. Because I think, in a sense, first of all, I don't think Gabriel, like, knew that you could combine Miraculouses. Now he knows. So that's, like, number one. Because he sees Marinette do it with the Ladybug and the Dragon Miraculous. He sees her combine them. So now he sort of knows that that is something that can be done. So that was the first thing. I don't think he even knew. So he needed Natalie. And then say he did know. The other reason why he really needed Natalie is because I feel like even though Gabriel seems to care about her, in some cases, I think he cares more about Natalie than he does about Adrien, which is a little bit of a big yikes, especially if you guys watched like Cat Blanc and how things sort of, you know, progressed like that. Like that's a little, right? But it's not necessarily out of selfishness. It's out of the fact that if he gets sick, like Emily did, because we can assume that that's what happened to her, that she got like the sickness because she overused the Peacock Miraculous. Like that is what put her in the coma, a lot of people think. Again, hasn't been like super confirmed, but remember, Adrien was like, Mom used to cough like that too, and we were all like, what? Like, what do you mean? Right? So that was sort of the other thing, was that it probably did that to her. And so in Gabriel's mind, he's like, okay, I can't use it, I can't combine it because then I'll get sick and then Adrien will lose both of his parents and no one will be able to save her. That's his thought process, right? And so he needed Natalie. He needed somebody else to help him, and that was Natalie. But now, it's like, guys, he doesn't necessarily need Natalie anymore. And so I feel like it'll either go in two directions, right? And I feel like this would be interesting just because this could be like two separate episodes or like one big episode. My idea is basically now that there will be an episode where Gabriel uses both of them at the same time and Natalie will be all sad because she feels like she isn't needed anymore. Does that make sense? And all that stuff, but then at the end of the episode, Gabriel will realize he does need Natalie for some reason. Does that make sense? Like, I feel like that it's gonna be some sort of plot line like that, where now Gabriel's like, now Natalie, I don't need to put you in danger. I will just use both of the Miraculouses all by myself. And then she'll just be like, sad and like mopey and depressed, but then at the end of the episode, for some reason, he realizes that he does need Natalie still as a sort of partner, or that could be even an overarching plot for the entirety of season 4, right? Because here's the thing about season 4. Season 4 seems to be about self-reflection, right? We don't really know anything about season 4, but based off of the season 3 finale, that's what we're seeing, like that's what it seems to be getting at, is sort of this self-reflection that Adrien and Marinette are both going to grow as people, and they're going to grow through being with Luca and then being with Kagami and Adrien in Marinette's case, right? And so it's an emphasis on their like personally, like just them as individuals. So I feel like Hawkmoth will also follow that plot line where he starts to focus on himself more as an individual and like sort of has that moment of, hey, I can just use both of the Miraculouses now. I don't need Natalie, just like, you know, to an extent like Adrian and Marinette have both separated from each other, right? And have both separated from each other as Ladybug and Cat Noir. Obviously, they're still working together as Ladybug and Cat Noir, but Cat Noir has sort of separated himself, like by a degree to Ladybug. Does that make sense? Do you guys understand what I'm saying? So I feel like that's going to play a really big role in next season. And so I feel like something that we will see next season is Hawkmoth trying to do everything basically by himself. He's sort of like, hey, I don't need Natalie in this capacity anymore. I will use both Miraculouses and then maybe I'll akumatize her every once in a while. You know what I mean? Right? But then he realizes like the moral of the story is that they need each other. Cat Noir needs Ladybug, and you know, Hawkmoth needs Mayura, right? Like that could be the whole sort of like, whoop, like that could be the whole thing for the season. The second thing that I've been thinking about is, holy shit, okay? If this is how Natalie acts when she's like dying, like imagine how she will act when she is well. Because we see in the Felix episode, like girl has some moves, okay? Like I didn't necessarily realize it before, like she has been badass in other episodes, right? But she was super badass in the freaking Felix episode, you know what I'm saying? And so in my mind, how I'm sort of thinking about it is like, if this is her when she is unwell, when she is dying, when the Miraculous is killing her, imagine how strong and sort of like powerful she can be when she's not dying. You know what I mean? And remember, okay, Thomas Astruck apparently said that there is going to be a villain more powerful than Hawkmoth. And a lot of people speculated that he was talking about Mayura. But Natalie never really got to be at her full power, not until now, right? And so now that the Miraculous is fixed, if Natalie continues using it, she will surpass and be more powerful than Hawkmoth. That is what I think. Because Hawkmoth isn't terrible in battle, but when he fights, you can kind of tell that he's an old man. Like, does that make sense? Like, I don't know, there's just something about it. Like, he's not unskilled, but Natalie is definitely more skilled than he is. Like, sorry about that. And so not only does she have a very powerful power, right? She's also very skilled in combat. Like, she makes up a lot of what Hawkmoth himself lacks. You know what I mean? And so I feel like that is super tasty and super interesting for next season. You know what I mean? Like, I just think that that's such an interesting idea. If, you know, there will be a villain that is more scary and more powerful than Hawkmoth, that could have been Natalie. It's just Natalie never got to reach her true potential. And so she could next season. And that'll be like nothing we've ever seen before, where it's just like, you know, you could take down Hawkmoth and Natalie when they weren't at full capacity, but now they have all this information. They could probably do like Kwami transformations now, because I think they have the potion recipes like out of the books and the data that they got from Master Fu's like tablet situation. Like, there is just a lot that will up them and raise the bar, and I think that the Miraculous being fixed is definitely one of those things. And so I feel like that's so interesting. And so next season, like, it's going to be crazy. Crazy, guys. It is gonna be nuts, okay? And this is why. You know, and so I'm excited to see Hawkmoth try to use both of them at the same time. I'm excited to see what Natalie is like at her full capacity, and I'm excited to see like what happens if Natalie sort of goes rogue because she's more powerful than Hawkmoth. Like, what if Natalie thinks that there's a better way to do this than the way that Hawkmoth has been doing it every episode? And I'm so interested in that. So with that being said, now that that is all on the table, let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think Mayura is gonna go rogue like I said? I really think she is. I think that she's gonna be like, well, you know, I'm the boss now, sweetie. Like, I think that she could definitely, like, go in that direction. You know what I mean? I think that she's gonna be super strong at the very least, but again, what do you guys think? Do you think that Hawkmoth is gonna try to use both of them? Do you think he's gonna try and fail to use both of them at the same time for some reason? Do you think that in the end he'll realize he needs Natalie? Like, what do you think is going to be the outcome of fixing the Peacock Miraculous? Because it is super important. It was in the end credits for a reason, and so I feel like there has to be some sort of big thing that is going to develop because of it. And so again, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think, and I will see you later. Bye. Thank you to all the patrons over on Patreon who support our channel. Their names will be showcased now.